Hello fellow Smashers, this is FS Smash. I'll be going over the recent Fire Emblem 3 Houses Japan Expo that occurred in France during 11 AM local time. I believe it was Central Europe time. Nintendo France held a 30-minute demo for Fire Emblem 3 Houses at Japan Expo in Paris featuring Toseya Kasuhira and Genkei Koyota. They mostly shown footage of exploring the monastery and the King of Beasts fight that we've seen a lot already. But this time dual audio was an occurrence as the VAs were in Japanese, but the subtitles were in Francais. This article was done by Vincent ASM along with translators that were credited in the article. Links will be in the description. Otherwise, let's get into this. Raphael can be recruited if you're not teaching the Golden Deer. His exact requirements are FRC, which is Strength, Stat, and Corsair, Heavy Armor skill level. If you don't meet the requirements, however, there is a fourth option known as Mission Assistance, which lets you borrow the students for 1 month only. However, like recruiting, we don't know what the limitations are. At some point, they hover near the Amiibo Gazebo, aka the Pavilion. Sadly, they didn't show it off, but according to the developers, if you scan a Fire Emblem Amiibo, you can unlock classic player phase music from the auxiliary, optional map. AKA, let's say you scan a Robin Amiibo, you could get music from Awakening, for example. By the way, I'm going to start speaking a little bit more French, so bear in mind with my bad pronunciation, which is designed like a diary or notebook. The following are Objectif, Liste, Souton, which is supports, Quête, which is quest, Entrepôt, which is warehouse slash convoy, which is basically your item storage, Sauvegarde, which is save, and guide, options, and calendrier, which is calendar. Raphael says in French subtitles, Bonjour professeur, vous trouvez pas que les gens extravagants ont pu avec ces histoires de Emblem or de Relics en du je ne sais quoi. It translates to, hello professor, do you find that people extravagant a little with these stories about emblems or relics, or do I not know? Here in this screenshot we have Petra wanting to switch to a thief because people think that she's a thief, but she isn't actually a bad person. The reason why she actually wants to become a thief is because she believes she's fast enough so she can travel around enemies without being noticed, and she wants to learn le arc and le épée, which means the bow and sword, which is basically what the thief and assassin have for the weapon class. Dorothea makes a comment on him that he has an emblem and concludes that Byleth is a noble descent along with belonging to a higher status. Also in this screenshot you can do a cadeau, which gives Dorothea a gift, and also have prendre le thé, which have tea with Dorothea. We also have a mission objective stating that éliminer les bandits sur la voie Margaret, which means route / eliminate the enemies in Margaret. Another key thing to know is the mission. I have went ahead and translated it so I wouldn't have to bother you guys with my pratiquement français matter, basically practice my bad French on you guys. The presumably older son of the Gautier family, which is basically Sylvain's family, has had their crest stolen, and the bandit leaders have seemed to capture the older son of the Gautier family, and the church charges you with settling the affair. The next article on Serenes Forest is done by Jedi. Again, with the help of French translators, they are credited in the original article. Toseya Kasuhira and Genkei Koyota, sorry for the bad pronunciation again, who came for the 3 House live demonstration were interviewed by Jeux Video, just play video, probably just like gaming website or whatever in French. IES managed the artistic direction and game design, while Koei Tecmo did the programming. Next, they go into the difference between the monastery and My Castle from Fire Emblem Fates. Koyota states that the My Castle system was interesting because you could build it up yourself, but the ambitions we had with the monastery were much larger and harder to achieve using a similar system. We wanted to give this feeling of shared life. While you created your own My Castles from scratch in 3 houses, it is already established. The characters have lived there for years, and for them it's a place that they can call home, so it was designed to have that kind of mood. I never really mind the My Castle feature. I thought it was just a way you can cheese out a lot of the finite resources. If anything, you can also enlist broken characters from other castles or give skills to units that shouldn't have in the first place due to hacking. There are also some main online features. Koyota continues, there's a global activity. For each choice, such as instructing students, there is a percentage that shows what other players are doing. This is a good way to observe the trends and potentially influencing your decisions. This can help a great deal on deciding what is the best course of action. There's another thing called exchange students. It is possible to send one of your students to another player's monastery. You can choose to give him / her an item to offer to the other player if they wish to buy it. When receiving a student from another player, they can use it in combat as an assist unit for the pair-up system under specific conditions. I wonder how specific those conditions are. I hope they're not just locked to auxiliary battles. There's another feature known as Lost Spirits. In optional battles, there are tiles called Lost Spirits, which indicate areas where players had encountered difficulty. Successfully surviving on these tiles grant additional bonuses due to the higher difficulty. The Lost Spirits mechanic kind of reminds me of Dark Souls for me, seeing how players end up dying and perhaps using that to your advantage as to not repeat their same mistake. Also, they stated that there are no multiplayer battles or similar PvP features. Next, we head into proper gameplay discussions, starting with the weapon triangle. Koyota mentions the weapon triangle hasn't disappeared, it just isn't as visible. What he means is that the weapon triangle is absent, but it's possible to restore certain effects. What he means is while the weapon triangle is absent, it's possible to restore its effects via certain abilities. For example, you can unlock the Swordbreaker ability by increasing your lance skill level. This will give your unit an advantage when using lances versus swords. We also briefly go over the amiibo function, which again confirms that Fire Emblem amiibos unlock music from retrospective games to use in the auxiliary optional battles, which to recap would be Marth, Ike, Corrin, Lucina, Chrom, Alm, Selka, Tiki, Roy, and Robin. Finally, we come to the biggest bombshell of the entire interview. According to Kushihara, it took him roughly 80 hours of game time to play one of the routes in 3 houses. Kushihara says, to complete the game with just one of the 3 houses, it took me 80 hours. I did not skip the dialogue or cutscenes. Of course, so if you want to do the 3 paths, it can take you more than 200 hours. Now, I don't know if Kushihara was merely taking his sweet old time. If what he says is true for an average player, then holy god. People tend to talk about how Fire Emblem has barely any replayability, but if you look at like other YouTubers like Mangs, for example, he plays a ton of Fire Emblem games. Before I end the video, thank you to Vincent ASM and Jedi for the article, along with those who translated the French to English. Thank you guys for watching this Fire Emblem 3 Houses video. Please, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, it helps a ton, and share this video on any social media like Reddit, Discord, wherever you feel like is most appropriate. And please check out my other Fire Emblem 3 Houses videos if you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you fellow Smashers in the next battle.